Good morning, students. Students, today I am going to teach you your chapter 2, and the topic is the Northern Plain. Okay, students. So today's our topic is the Northern Plain of India. Okay. So everyone take your geography book and attend this video carefully. So let me start. The Northern Plain. The Northern Plain has been formed by the interplay of the three major river systems, namely, number one, the Indus, number two, the Ganga River. Okay, students, number one, the Indus River, number two, the Ganga River, and the third one is the Brahmaputra River along with their tributaries. Students, tributaries means, see this one, tributaries means other helping rivers. Other helping rivers are known as tributaries. So students, these lines are explaining that how our northern plain has been made up. So let me tell you in very simple words that how this plain has been made up. Okay, students, you know these rivers, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra river, these rivers originate from our Himalaya mountain. Okay, and as these rivers are coming from the Himalaya mountain and flowing towards the south direction, okay, flowing towards the south direction, these rivers would like to carry large amount of sediments along with their flow. Large amount of sediments means large amount of small pebbles, very high amount of dust particles these rivers would like to carry. Okay, and these sediments carried by these rivers, okay students, you know these rivers deposited these sediments in this plain, northern plain area. Okay, so so by the deposition of these sediments carried by these rivers, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, are this northern plain has been made up. Okay, next, this plain is formed of alluvial soil. Majorly this plain has been made up of alluvial soil, and alluvial soil, it's a name of a fertile soil. The deposition, as I have told you about what is the deposition. Okay, the deposition of alluvium in a vast means students large, vast means large, in a vast basin lying at the foothills of the Himalayas over millions of years formed this fertile plain. Okay, as I have told you now only that these rivers, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, these rivers were depositing their sediments in a large amount, and this process is going on with millions years. Okay, and by this process this plain has made up, and you know this plain is very fertile plain also. Okay, it spreads over an area of 7 lakh square kilometer. The plain being about 2400 kilometer long and 240 to 320 kilometer broad is a densely populated physiographic division. You students just attend one other page. See this one. Our same chapter is going on. Some important points related to the northern plain. The northern plain has been formed by the interplay of three major river systems, as I have told you. The Indus River, number two, the Ganga River, number three, the Brahmaputra, along with their tributaries. Okay, tributaries, other small helping rivers. Students just attend about some important data about this northern plain. Total area of northern plain, you know how much it is? The total area of northern plain is 7 lakh square kilometer. It is 7 lakh square kilometer, and the length of this plain, the length of our northern plain is 2400 kilometer. I am repeating, 2400 kilometer. Width of this plain, the width of this northern plain is 240 to 320 kilometer broad. 240 to 320 kilometer broad. So students, all these are important points. Just write down these points in your fair notebook and try to learn also. Okay, now let me explain further. Okay, these lines. So I have told you all these things. 7 lakh square kilometer total area. Okay, and long, how much long it is? 2400 kilometer long and 240 to 320 kilometer broad. It means width of this plane is 240 to 320 kilometer broad. Is a densely populated physiographic division. Students, you know this northern plain is a densely populated area. Densely populated means highly populated. Highly populated means a large amount of population is living in this area. And you know, students, what are the reasons responsible for this high population? So, listen. With a rich soil cover combined with adequate water, rich soil means fertile soil, adequate water means enough water, okay. Supply and favorable climate means good climate. It is agriculturally a productive part of India. Students, as a conclusion, we have good climate in this northern plain, appropriate climate, favorable climate. We have very rich fertile soil also in this northern plain, and we have enough amount of water also in this northern plain, because we have many rivers, and the rivers are large also. So all these factors are equal to high population in this area. Okay, students, and you know the main occupation is agriculture. The main occupation is agriculture. You know why? Because for agriculture we require good climate, we require fertile soil, and we require enough amount of water. And you know all these three things we have in this northern plain. Three means one, number two fertile soil, and number three enough amount of water. We have all these three in this northern plain. So as a result we have a very rich type of agriculture in this northern plain, and good type of agriculture is equal to high population. Okay, now let me explain further. The rivers coming from northern mountains are involved in depositional work. As I have told you, the rivers are coming from the northern mountains, Himalaya mountains. The rivers coming from Himalaya mountains are involved in. It means the rivers are busy in depositional work. Okay, depositional work means the rivers would like to deposit the material. Deposit the material the rivers would like to carry with them. Okay, like small pebbles, dust particles, the river water would like to carry with them. As the water is flowing, the water also carries large amount of small pebbles and dust particles. Okay, and when the speed decreases, when the speed of the flow of the water decreases, what river does? The river deposits all the sediments carried with them. This is known as depositional work done by rivers. Okay, so students, as a conclusion, this northern plain is the result of the depositional work. I am repeating, this northern plain, the formation of this northern plain is the result of depositional work done by the major rivers like these, the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra, and other many small tributaries. And students, you know, in the lower course, due to gentle slope, the velocity, students, velocity means speed. Velocity means speed. The velocity of the river, it means the speed of the river. The speed of the river decreases. Decreases means down, which results in the formation of riverine islands. Okay, students, these lines are explaining that many times in lower areas, due to gentle slope, okay, in lower areas we find gentle slope, not steep slope. The gentle slope, in the gentle slope, the speed of the river water decreases. The speed of the river water, the flow of the river decreases, and it results in the creation of riverine islands. And what happens there? Are riverine islands made up there. Students, these riverine islands, almost time these islands are in within the rivers. Okay, just take one example of this type of island. Students, you know Majuli Island. What's the name? Majuli Island. Students, this is the name of an island, Majuli, and where it is, in the Brahmaputra river. It is in the Brahmaputra river. Is the largest inhabited riverine island in the world. In the world. So what you are getting, the name of the riverine island is Majuli, okay, and where it is in the Brahmaputra river. And one more important point, it is the largest inhabited riverine island in the world. Okay. The rivers in their lower course split into numerous channels. Numerous means a number of channels due to the deposition of silt. Okay, silt means a type of fertile soil. These channels are known as distributaries. Distributaries. Channels are also small rivers. Okay, students. So many times the rivers in their lower course split into numerous channels. Okay, in the lower areas, split means students break. Many times in the lower areas, a river breaks into a number of parts. Are you getting? A river breaks into a number of, split means breaks into a number of parts, a number of small parts due to the deposition of silt. And these parts are known as distributaries. Okay. The northern plain is broadly divided into three sections. Okay, students. The northern plain is broadly divided into three sections. Number one, the western part of the northern plain is referred to as the Punjab plains. Now, students, what we are doing? We are doing the classification of our northern plain. The classification of our northern plain. So, number one, the western part of the northern plain is known as the Punjab plain. Okay, number one. The western part of the northern plain is known as Punjab plain, formed by the Indus and its tributaries. And this Punjab plain has been made up by Indus and its tributaries. Okay. The larger part of this plain lies in Pakistan. Okay. The Indus and its tributaries, the Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas, and the Satluj originate in the Himalaya. Okay, students, all these are the names of major rivers: the Jhelum, Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas, and the Satluj rivers. These rivers are coming from the Himalaya. This section of plain is dominated by Doabs. Okay, students. So, what we are doing? We are doing the classification of our northern plain. And number two, the Ganga plain. Okay, classification of northern plain. Number one, the Punjab plain. Number two, the Ganga plain. Students, the Ganga plain extends means spreads between Ghaggar and Tista rivers. This plain lies between Ghaggar and the Tista rivers. It is spread over the states of North India, Haryana, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, partly Jharkhand, and West Bengal. To its east, particularly in Assam, lies the Brahmaputra plain. Okay, students, number two, the Ganga plain. And the Ganga plain spread over in the states of North India, Haryana. Okay, Haryana is included in the Ganga plain. Our Delhi is included in the Ganga plain. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and some parts of Jharkhand are also included in this number two Ganga plain. And this one is our number three Brahmaputra plain. West Bengal, to its east, particularly in Assam, lies the Brahmaputra plain. Okay, students. So where Brahmaputra plain lies? Our Brahmaputra plain, which is number 3, it lies West Bengal to its east, particularly in Assam. Okay, students. Just see this page also. The same thing we have. The northern plain is broadly divided into three sections. Okay, it is divided into three sections. Number 1, the Punjab plain. Number 2, the Ganga plain. Number 3, the Brahmaputra plain. So all these are three plains included in the northern plain. Okay, students, all these are the plains included in the northern plain. The northern plain can be divided into 4 regions. And now we are further dividing this northern plain. So what are the parts? See. Number 1, Bhabar. Number 2, Tarai. And number 3, number 3 Bhangar, and number 4 Khadar. So all these are the parts. Okay. So students, just see this one. We have discussed this thing. Okay, the northern plains are generally described as flat land with no variations in its relief. Majorly, we can say that northern plain is our flat land. Okay, with not very much variations, mean differences in its relief. Flatland means flat land. It is not true. These vast plains also have diverse relief features. It's okay, student, that our northern plain is known as a flat land, but in many areas, these plains also have different relief features. These plains also have different relief features. According to the variation in relief features, the northern plains can be divided into four regions according to the variations in relief features. Okay, majorly we can divide the northern plain in these three parts. Number 1, the Punjab plain. Number 2, the Ganga plain. And number 3, the Brahmaputra plain. Okay, but this is one other classification, and the base of this classification is on the variations in relief features. According to the differences in relief features, the northern plains can be divided into four parts. The rivers, after descending from the mountains, deposit pebbles. Pebbles mean small stones in a narrow belt of about 8 to 16 km in width, lying parallel to the slopes of Shivalik. Student, Shivalik we have discussed in that topic, our Himalaya mountain. Shivalik is the southernmost part of our Himalaya mountain. In classification we did in that video, number 3 part, Shivalik. Have you remember? This is the southernmost part of our Himalaya mountain. Okay, students. So you know what river does? The rivers are coming from the mountains, Himalaya mountain. Descending means coming down. The rivers are coming down from the Himalaya mountain, and these rivers deposit small pebbles in a narrow belt, about 8 to 16 km in width, lying parallel to the slopes of the Shivaliks. And this area lies parallel to the Shivalik. It is known as Bhabar. This is part number 1. It is known as Bhabar. Okay, all the streams disappear in this Bhabar belt. All the small rivers disappear in this Bhabar belt. It means hardly we are able to see south of this belt. Okay, students, and when we are coming downward, it means when we are coming to the south of this Bhabar belt, the streams and rivers re-emerge and create a. Okay, students, again we are able to see these rivers. In this Bhabar part, we are not able to see the streams, but as we are moving down in the south part, again these rivers are appear. Okay, we are able to see, and these rivers create a wet, swampy, and marshy region known as Tarai. And this region is known as Tarai. And students, for your information, I would like to tell you, this is very fertile region. Tarai region is very fertile region, and it is very productive for our good crops. This is number 2. What we are doing the classification of our northern plain on the basis of variation in relief features. So number 1 is Bhabar. In the south of this Bhabar belt are Tarai part located. This was a thickly forested region full of wildlife. Okay, this area is also very thickly forested, full of wildlife, and wildlife is also very rich in this region. Automatically, when the forest will be there, large amount of animals will be there. The forests have been cleared to create agricultural land and to settle migrants from Pakistan after partition. Students, you know what people does in this area? The people would like to cut down the trees. They would like to clear these forests. After clearing these forests, they would like to start their agriculture process. The largest part of the northern plain is formed of older alluvium. It lies above the floodplains of the rivers and presents a terrace-like feature. This part is known as Bhangar. Okay, students, this is number 3. The largest part of the northern plain is formed of older alluvium. Okay, and this part is known as Bhangar. Number 3. Number 2 Bhabar. Number 1 Bhabar. Number 2 Tarai. Number 3 Bhangar, and just see number 4. Number 4. The soil in this region contains calcareous deposits locally known as kankar. In this region, it means which region? Number 3 region we are doing, Bhangar. Okay, and in this region we have very large amount of kankar, locally known as kankar, small pebbles. The newer younger deposits of the floodplains are called khadar. The newer younger deposits of the floodplains are called khadar. This is also the name number 4. This is number 4, khadar. They are renewed almost every year and so are fertile, thus ideal for intensive agriculture. Intensive means large amount of agriculture. And students, these fertile plains are going to renew almost every year. Okay, it means new layer of soil is coming and coming by the rivers. The river would like to carry the new type of fertile soil, and the river would like to deposit in these areas. So this is the main reason that these areas are very fertile. Okay, and when the areas are very fertile, automatically these areas are good for agriculture, and if good agriculture is here, it is also clear that large amount of population is also living here. So students, what we did today, we have started from our northern plain. Okay, in the beginning I have told you that how this plain has been made up. Okay, after that I gave you this part, some important points, all these. Okay, and this classification also I gave to you. The northern plain is broadly divided into 3 sections. These are okay, and on the basis of variations we can also divide this northern plain into these 4 regions. Number 1 Bhabar, number 2 the Tarai, number 3 the Bhangar, and number 4 Khadar, as we have discussed now. Okay students, so what you have to do today, your homework is just write down all these informations, this page. Okay students, and this one page in your geography fair notebook. Okay, and try to learn also. Okay students, thanks a lot. Have a good day.